you back. So stick with me and find out what it really means to be autistic. This is Lenny. He has classic autism. Even though he's 9 years old, he can't really talk, and we think that he won't have much independence and he'll be looked after all his life.
What do you guys think?
Awesome.
Hmm?
I was the exact same way at his age.
Wow.
You couldn't talk when you were 9?
Mm-mm. Barely.
Yeah, that's what I was. I couldn't talk around 5, I think.
So the good news is it is possible for people with severe autism to learn to be and act normal.
Did you guys like how it... Oh yeah, sorry, Lloyd?
It was better than the previous video.
My name is Laura Robinson. My parents tell me that I was diagnosed when I was around 2. I was pretty normal and all that in development and all that, and I was starting to talk. But then just one day I stopped responding. I would not respond to my name. I wouldn't respond to anything. And then they got me diagnosed, and they just immediately thought that, no, there is no way we're going to let our child become... They didn't want me to fade away, basically. They didn't want me to not be a part of this world. I also even had a couple of physical tics. My mom told me that I would flap my hands. So they took me to speech therapy. I also would watch my movies and all that and pick up cues from there. Ever since I was a little kid, I always just loved animation, and it really helped shape who I am today.
We have till, what's today?
Today's Thursday.
And I'm curious, how did you decide that you want to be an animator?
Drawing is my favorite thing to do.
I want to make animation about real stuff. Real stuff in the world.
Like a documentary?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like if I want to choose any sort of career, it's that, making these things that make people as happy as they made me. So
I look forward to Saturday mornings, because sometimes I'm like, I'm going to put on one of my Animaniacs DVDs, just because I can.
Because you're an adult. And what does it mean to be an adult in America than to be able to put on your Animaniacs DVDs at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning?
Well, my experiences with school were never really positive. Academically, I usually struggled behind the class, and socially, I didn't make friends very easily. I was bullied a lot. There was never any real cut and dry, this the point where I've become a normal person. One of the ideas that I had floating in the back of my mind for the longest time is I always wanted to be an animator. I never really took it seriously. And then I discovered this program.
This whole clip takes place after a robot apocalypse, and the main character is just this little cyborg girl just wandering this ruinous landscape.
And her name is Voklinda, which I got from listening to too much Wagner.
And I did all the music, ukulele and kazoo, so...
What were you doing before you came to Exceptional Minds?
Before I came here, I was going to Orange Coast College in Costa Mesa. There I was double majoring in theater and film, and I really enjoyed that, but being in the academic, the GE classes...
I like how you put it in the video footage.
But yeah, it's going good.
Yeah, it's going great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having a blast.
Good. Well, thanks for showing us.
Yeah, thank you.
Nicholas Samuel Benoit. Nicholas Benoit. Nikki Benoit. Nikki. Nick. I don't know. I've worked on quite a few, and it's kind of hard to choose a favorite. I think the one my mother would want me to answer is Cool Carla.
There goes Carla, she's a real cool cat.
I animated the whole three plus minutes of the song and made my own like choices on what exactly would be in the animation. She's really proud of that one. The school is really proud of that one, and I would be lying if I said I wasn't proud of it too. This is a gi. It's the typical uniform for when you do karate. The color dictates like how advanced you are. I think it was an AA, associate's degree in computer-aided drafting and design. And I went to the CIP, college internship program, where I learned more independent living skills. My bedtime stuff. And this is a really cool lamp where you just have to touch it and it does 3 different levels of light. This is Tangerine, I believe. Let's see. He helps me remember my old roommate back at a college internship program.
And if you had to move from this place and you could only take 2 things, what would you take with you?
My computer and my 3DS with games in it, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, that would be really annoying if I could only take 2 things. Because there was like so many other things that I think would be important to bring, like I don't know. Oh yeah, my wallet and my phone and that kind of stuff. That's important. I should realize that that's important. Here's where I keep my important stuff. Like my wallet and my keys are in here. I think my next goal is for next year for Exceptional Minds to occasionally drive myself there instead of having David drive me there.
When I first sort of realized that I was going to be living for the most part on my own, I was definitely excited at first, and eventually like I started having reservations about it. I started having like, oh, can I really do this? Sometimes it can get lonely. You just have to make a little bit more effort to be social. It helps you become you more than anything else, I feel.
From the planet Street Hole 9, there lived the greatest hero that ever lived. Like, that's me, Joko the Great. Not you. What? Who's more important than me? This guy, the Sky Blue Warrior. I'm like, him? Yes, him. Yeah, I'm gonna win this race. Sorry, dude, this isn't gonna be a racing show. What? Like, the car machine doesn't race. Yeah, and there's gonna be more adventures of car machine pretty soon.
What'd you do for this?
Fur.
You textured the fur. Do you want to zoom in on the fur, show what that looks like? Lloyd wanted to go a little bit deeper with the rendering. Lloyd, what did you add to the picture that wasn't there to begin with? Yeah, the hat and the what?
And what else?
The hat and...
Yeah, and the...
bandana, yes. Against advice, actually. He decided that Fievel needed to be wearing the cowboy hat and bandana, so even when it's going to result in more work, we don't try and discourage them. Because if they're passionate about it, there's nothing more important than the stuff that really drives them, because that's going to be what ends up being what they learn and what they end up doing for work, hopefully.
What we want our students to see at the end of the tunnel is that, okay, I can master this program. We want to get them certified in this software. And basically, if you get certified in it and you put that on your resume, it's going to say, look, I know how to use this program. And then when I do get that job, I'll be able to do it. My whole life, I've been like, normal? What is that actually? I don't know. I don't want to.
The word I always heard was neurotypical. If you're not autistic, you're neurotypical.
I always knew that something was different about me, but I never really asked my parents. I never asked, well, why do I have to go see this person? And then flash forward many years later to when I'm in 8th grade. I'm in a study hall class with only 2 other kids. And then the supervisor, she hands me this flyer that says something about like, I forget what it was, but I remember seeing the word autism. I'm like, I don't know what this word means. And she kind of described it to me, and I'm like, wait a minute. And so that was when the pieces kind of started falling together. And, you know, think of it, like at that age, like it'd be like discovering that that you were blind all this time or something like that.
I did not realize until I was flat out told. I have to admit. I knew when I was young that I'd be very hypersensitive and everything, but I'm not sure whether it was because I was closed-minded or I just was too busy to notice, but I thought all kids went through that kind of stuff.
I wasn't diagnosed with autism until I was 17, and what I had seen of autism on TV were people who were barely functioning, barely able to communicate, so deep inside I felt, no, this isn't me at all. And eventually I sort of realized from doing research, from meeting other people with it, that, okay, so this is just who I am.
It wasn't until he was in the 9th grade when we finally got the diagnosis that he had autistic-like behaviors. And at first I thought there would be a lot of resources out there to connect to. And I found, especially as an adolescent, there were less and less opportunities for him to get some kind of support. So I'm glad that he has had this opportunity to go to Exceptional Minds. It's really helped.
Welcome to Exceptional Minds. This is our exciting new space that we've been working on for months.
You have a title for your master work.
The Game Theater.
Game theater, yeah.
Game. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lloyd. My project is called Game Theater. I made it using Photoshop and After Effects here at Exceptional Minds.
When it comes to discrimination against the autism population, I think the biggest one is that neurotypicals think that we will not be able to carry on in society.
From the planet Street Hall 9, there lived the greatest hero that ever lived.
That's me, Jocko the Great!
The animation that I saw today just staggered the hell out of me. It was lovely, beautiful, it's funny. And I hope that people will become ignited and attempt to do something for these young people who all seem high functioning to me, and to find some way to give them hope. They deserve it.
Ed, this is an award that we're giving you.
We almost dropped it. You know that? That's what we do with the award.
This is the best thing that's ever happened to our son, Patrick, and we feel completely confident that he's going to get out into the world and be able to be an animator.
Can you tell me about your hopes for Patrick?
Simple. That he has a job doing something that he loves and has his independence. That's it.
Yeah.
Because that's really what every parent wants for their child, right? To be successful and happy.
And this is the place, and we couldn't have been more fortunate to be for Mike to be in the right place at the right time. But we all think and we all believe is going to be change so many young adults' lives that traditionally have been kind of lost.
After high school, they just kind of drop off the grid. What do you do with them?
Without here, just still, I wouldn't be anything. Gain supportive, gain my talents.
These guys have been unbelievable. Not only are they great teachers to your students, but they're mentors to them, they're advisors to them, they're friends to them.
I never thought that like everything would kind of come full circle, and that like, here's the mid-20s, I guess Asperger's girl, educating other young adults that are on the spectrum. I never thought that I'd be doing that so early in my life, or that I would ever work with the autism community. My parents kind of think of it as like, the stars aligning, but they could not be happier.
My dad is probably one of the most inspirational people to me. He is the most selfless human being I've ever met. Both my parents are, really.
What can you say? He grew up. No, he really has. In the last 2 years, or a year, I should say, he's gone from being a snot-nosed kid to a young man who's able to take care of himself.
I hope eventually one day I can start being able to pay back my parents for all the kindness that they've given to me. Like, yeah, you've taken care of me for 23 years. It's time for me to start taking care of you more.
I can only say that I'm very proud of my son, and that I'm really glad you're doing what you're doing, and that you just gotta keep it up. Keep going at it.
Hi everyone, my name is David. I've been fascinated with the idea of storytelling almost as far back as I can remember. I've always found the idea that the human mind can translate different random noises that we produce with our mouths and different symbols that we draw with our hands into actual concrete meanings. So without further ado, vote Linda and the Music Box. Definitely more attached to everyone around me, because I know that we all have our sort of different hang-ups. We all have our different conditions and disorders, and sometimes, and I also sort of realize that there isn't such a thing as normal.
This is Exceptional Minds, right?